First test fire with the 40s on there, no tailpipes. And probably lots of leaks. So here's the directions that come with the kit, and while they're written okay, what they're seriously lacking on is any kind of a picture. And I know this isn't rocket science, but it wouldn't have killed them to put a sticker on these pipes when they come in, because there's no markings on them at all, or the clamps. Figuring out which one of these pipes that comes out of the outlet of the muffler, the short piece that goes over the axle, took me a minute to figure that out. And then the tailpipes are fairly explanatory, self-explanatory. But here's what they look like. And the, I don't know, the secret, whatever you want to call it, is if you took those two short pieces that go up over the axle and you set them next to each other, actually you can see how on the driver's side it kind of angles that way. Same over here. It's not immediately obvious. You know, it could just save you just that much time if they would just put, like, I mean, the cheap furniture you get at Walmart has stickers on it, A, B, C, double Y, whatever. They could have done that here. What I found out with these clamps here, or the tailpipe hangers, is they are different, but I don't think it really matters. They're basically the same, or will hold the tailpipes in the same position no matter which one you do where. It's just, do you want it to come through the hanger this way or pointing that way? So I chose to use them to where they're pointed towards the rear of the car. So for example, this same hanger would work fine on the passenger side. You would just have to point it in the hanger going that way, and it gives you the same orientation of the clamp. Then you got the big boys there, the 40s, and there's the mount. And yeah, I went ahead and threw a little paint on mine, why not? And then the little keepers on the end of the rods that go through to keep your hanger from sliding off. Then you get up here to the H-pipe. Fairly straightforward there. Then things got dicey, as it is going to for everybody. In my case, I'm running stock manifolds on the original 350. And so we'll start with the driver's side. You can see I'm pretty close here. I may have to adjust that. These pipes that come up out of the H-pipe, they're identical for both sides. So you just pick one and slide it forward, but then you got to match it up to your downpipe. In my case, these downpipes here, up until this weld, don't critique me on the weld, this set of downpipes came from Pypes, 2.5-inch stainless, and I just, the pipe that will come from Pypes. If you buy it, it comes like almost all the way back to here. So I just cut it off here, and then the one that comes from Flowmaster will go up there by your transmission, basically. So you're gonna have to just pick a spot and weld them together. So I picked right here, and I basically had to make a little pie cut because it was narrower here at the bottom than it was at the top, and then welded it up with a MIG that ran out of gas on me, and then threw a little VHT primer on there. Obviously I'm using a MIG on stainless. And then on the passenger side, you can see I've got a kerfluffle over here because I don't have it welded yet. All right, here we are on the passenger side. I'll explain this in a minute. This is where I made the cut off the Pypes downpipe. And then, you know, going on up there, those Pypes downpipes are really nice. Really, really high quality stuff. Very happy with them. But again, you know, when you're trying to merge the two pieces together here, is where I ran into trouble. And on the driver's side, I was able to get everything to install over there, even after I'd welded that pie cut piece in. But over here, because you can basically just insert it into the H pipe back there, and you can just swing it straight up into the manifold. But over here, that's not the case because this is angled. So what I wound up doing was installing this part of the front pipe to the H pipe, and then installing the down pipe, and then I took a 2.5 inch stainless steel connector from Advance, because you can get the mild steel just about anywhere, but Advance has this, actually had it in the store. And then I've got two different types of clamps here until I get back under here, and I'm going to weld this up eventually. But I've got it to where it stopped leaking now, finally. So this is just a 2.5 inch stainless steel U-clamp, obviously, and this is a band clamp. I got this to take out a lot of the leak that was happening here. I did cut a little relief into the stainless steel connector and then put this on. But that's what it looks like, at least on my car. And without and when I was, you know, cutting these pipes, you can cut them however you want, but I definitely found that using the chop saw, the ancient chop saw that I have from Harbor Freight, that's the way to go for nice, clean, you know, square cuts. Then you can weld it all up easy if you need to. Then you got the issue of the donuts up here. Initially, I had, and all I have ever used was these, you know, the fiber kind of donuts, metal fiber, whatever. But you can see here, as I was trying to get the angle on those downpipes, this was on the passenger side, it just smashed it, and pieces of it just kept falling off. This is I mean, they're all probably the same, but this is the Moly 17250. A little research, and I found out they make the exact same thing, but it's all just a solid piece of metal. And it's the 17250S. So I ended up using a pair of those, and I had absolutely no problems with the sealing to the manifolds. That's what I would recommend. And I got the one-piece steel ones, I got those at O'Reilly's, I think for a whopping $4 a piece. They had to order them in, but they, you know how they work. They had them in the next day. That worked out really well for me. That's it in a nutshell. It sounds great. Who doesn't love Flowmasters on an old muscle car? They look great. I think I'm going to have to tweak this pipe because it sits a little bit lower than this one does over here. Why, I couldn't tell you. So I may have to mess with that a little bit. I got a couple of leaks left to chase down, but there's nothing like the sound of Flowmaster 40s on an old muscle car. And yes, I know I need to do something about the leaks in the transmission, but one thing at a time. And this part was easy to figure out. You just got to be careful with these. You don't want to strip out the holes. I think I stripped one of them out on the passenger side over here, but it's not too bad. But it's one of those deals where you're going, you know, righty-tighty, righty-tighty. Oh, righty, is that Lucy? You know, oh, I better stop. So, but it's plenty tight. I'm just saying, it's one of those deals. Yeah, I like the way this one tucked up a lot better than the other side. And if you know, clearly I'm laying on the ground. If you got a hoist, this would be no problem. Probably a lot better fit and finish, but you do what you got to do sometimes. And again, I'm happy with both. You know, the Flowmaster kit is well thought out, well designed. They give you every single clamp that you can need. I'm also just as happy with the Pypes, Downpipes. I would have gone Pypes all the way through on this car, and I was going to, and I ordered the kit from the Pypes kit from Summit for the A-bodies, but after waiting 2 months for it to come in, I got an email saying it had been pushed back another 2 months. So I just canceled it because it's already almost November. I canceled it. I ordered the Flowmaster kit. It was here in 2 days from Summit. And that's hard to beat. I really did like the way they have the pipes fit into each other with the little Z cut here. Of course I can't show you because I got it together, but you'll see. It's got a little Z cut in the swelled out portion of the pipe so that when you put this band clamp over it, the pipe can actually close on itself and make a good seal against the adjoining pipe. Alright, have fun installing it. You're gonna love it. Well, folks, I couldn't stand it. I went ahead and took the driver's side tailpipe off and got it to fit up a little bit better. It's pretty well close to the passenger side. And I got that fitment by trimming this much off of where it goes up into the pipe that goes over the axle. And that let the whole tailpipe sit up just that much higher. This is about 3/8 of an inch. In fact, it's exactly 3/8 of an inch. So that scooted the whole thing up. And then that got me a lot more clearance and more or less matches the, yeah, that looks a lot better. More or less matches the passenger side. You may or may not have to do that, but I certainly did. Update part 2. This is the driver's side downpipe into the H-pipe. I decided to go ahead and take this off and redo it because it was way too close to the cross member, as in touching the cross member right about here. Couldn't take it, and then my welds were awful. Like, these aren't great, but they're a lot better now that I have gas. And changed the angle up a little bit, and you can kind of see there. I'm not great at this, I get that. But used the pie cut techniques and just found the right combination of angles to hopefully make this work. So I'll throw a little bit of VHT on here, put it on the car and see what it looks like. Okay, got her back on the car. Sealed up there. And this is way better. A lot more clearance. You can get a whole finger there, and I couldn't get a fingernail through there before, and it rattling was driving me crazy after spending all this money and time on this exhaust. So that's the last update. If you got to make adjustments, you just got to do it. And if I can do it with my janky pie cuts and welding skills, I know anybody can do it with some basic Harbor Freight stuff.